after the Haitian earthquake, of the 1.5 million people who sought shelters in makeshift camps, 500,000 are still living under canvas. The Red Cross has provided more than 30,000 families, approximately 150,000 people, with safe and improved shelter. This has required a flexible approach, and a range of solutions have been developed in an operation which is the largest single country response in the history of the Red Cross. A few months after the earthquake, with so many people living in makeshift emergency shelters, the coming hurricane season posed a real threat. Milo was one of hundreds of thousands of people still living in a camp. The Red Cross had to find solutions.
To build something, you need to prepare it. You need to import the material. You need to track the land. Who is owning the land? Who will allow the family to stay there? We need to train people, to train carpenters. All this takes time. 1 year after the earthquake, we have only 3,000 families. Now it's 30,000. Why? Because all this time was needed to have quality in our response.
La madame a choisi la couleur.
Milo and his growing family of 9 people now live in 2 new houses, a meaningful change.
En place, tellement chaud parce que nous avons vu que nos états qui est déplorable, mais qu'on a senti un petit changement.
A few months after, life is flourishing.
Ça c'est basilic, ça c'est citronnelle, ça c'est maïs.
For us, the fact that to see this extension is a symbol, is a sign that the family say, I chose this place, it's my home. I could invest part of my wealth for my children just to get a space where life is back. And for us, we are really happy because it means that family is at home.
A door that locked 4 walls and a roof offered people a new beginning.
Ici, mais pour le moment, il y a un changement qui vient fait que vous mettez éclairage dans le quartier et tout le monde ouais.
Si mon yo chita ou étudier, l'élément le soir il balle nous qu'on a plimé.
Port-au-Prince was not the only place to be affected. The Red Cross has also supported people in rural areas. Where space isn't an issue, a more standardized approach to constructing shelters is possible. Kits are sent from abroad, partially pre-assembled, and then bolted together on site.
It took more time to set up in terms of preparation, in terms of shipping, but it paid off in terms of better quality control and in terms of faster actual on-site construction.
Even in the remote mountainous areas around Jacmel, shelters can be assembled within 3 days. For Marie Carmel, who lost part of her family in the earthquake, the benefits are numerous. Step by step, new improvements have been made. In Petit Goâve, 5 hours from Port-au-Prince, the Red Cross has adapted to the local challenges. When water levels are high, toilets have been raised to avoid polluting water sources. In other areas, people face problems accessing water. This morning, Delicia has started her day by washing the clothes of her 6 children.
Quand de l'eau soit vient ici ou ici, donc l'eau vient directement dans le château d'eau.
Quand il y a reçoit là, il était tombé là, il était déjà là dans il était plein. Oui, il est utile moins en pile, oui. Il est utile moins en pile. Et tout bas, il est utile moins. Quand il est utile moins, c'est fini. Les pour mal laver, parfois les rats sont sales. Nous mal pour laver, à cause de l'eau bien loin, parfois. S'acheter pour passer petit bout de l'eau good, pour laver, parfois pas de good là non more, pour acheter de l'eau. Mais quand il y a la bonne fait un château d'eau. Depuis la pluie tombée, je vais de l'eau, me laver. Oui.
The Red Cross has also worked closely with partners, like Handicap International, who they worked with to build shelters specially adapted for disabled people.
Avant ça, tout ça me besoin de faire, il faut que je monde pour aider. Quand je suis capable d'aller, je n'ai pas peur, puisque je ne suis pas tombé en bas, je suis barré. Oui, je suis dans la rue, à l'aise.
À partir du type d'handicap que la personne a, alors on a des techniciens qui viennent analyser le positionnement du terrain juste pour voir quel type d'accessibilité serait le mieux pour la personne. Tu vois, dimensionnement de la porte pour qu'elle puisse passer très facilement avec sa chaise roulante. Tu vois. Aussi, on a la toilette est assez espacée pour qu'elle puisse tourner très facilement. Et également, si elle veut quitter sa maison pour aller dans la rue, par exemple, elle peut se déplacer.
The foundation for success has been the involvement of communities and their ongoing participation in the recovery process.
C'est-à-dire que c'est ce comité qui organise les distributions des matériaux à tous les villageois. C'est par ce comité qu'on va choisir la main-d'œuvre. Donc on s'est arrangé pour que la main-d'œuvre puisse tourner et se renouveler très régulièrement pour permettre à l'ensemble de la population de bénéficier du travail. Et donc c'est vraiment un lien très fort pour mener à bien le projet.
In Palm East à 20, these initial prefabricated shelters are upgraded and extended following consultation with the communities, dramatically extending the lifespan of their new homes.
Donc la première des améliorations, ça a été ici le renforcement du plancher. Amélioration importante, ça a été vraiment l'ajout de ce nouveau revêtement extérieur en plaques de fibrociment. Une autre amélioration très importante, c'est la construction de cette terrasse en bois. On a la possibilité en fait de la disposer un peu où on veut autour de la maison. Donc c'est à chaque bénéficiaire, chaque famille de choisir la disposition de cette terrasse.
The traditional doctor can't wait to see his gallery finished.
Dans la galerie, il y a nécessaire en pile. L'homme on a venu, carrément en qualité, c'est un médecin. Si nous avons des médicaments, il consulter tout pour nous parler avec pour nous recevoir. Ah, ok. Oui.
In Leogane, the town at the epicenter of the quake, prefabricated steel frames were deployed immediately after the disaster. Initially wrapped in tarpaulins to make them waterproof, following discussion with the communities, the structures were later given concrete-cladded walls. This turned the temporary shelters into more permanent homes.
Non, connaît que l'héritier était côté le terroir malgré que papi n'est pas là. Il y a des voisins qui vont engager comme c'est voulu.
For many people in Haiti, land tenure has been a long-standing challenge. To support people effectively, the Red Cross had to make sure families had the right to stay on the land where shelters were being provided.
C'est petit terre longtemps et ici me fait maman mon ici papa mon ici me fait parce que l'aime d'ap travail la terre me pas de ko gen kay parce que sans faire même en faire terre on temps mettre li à vendre moi ni mais kounya c'est sous prix d'achat m'en fait même pour 5 ans.
Le petit cœur là c'est quoi?
Hein, les petits cœurs, les quoi où je te filme mon kay là marqué merci Jésus et Jésus te fait me jeune.
Fais quoi?
Bien sûr. Espoir me gagner un travail là un jour m'a réalisé quand même.
Qui ça que vous réalisez?
Bon, ça m'a fait là te m'a travail là un jour m'a réalisé là-dedans. Oui, me fait un peu de monde Planter vie.
Back in Port-au-Prince, roads are cleared and activities are scaling up as the city takes its first steps towards recovery. But hundreds of thousands are still living in camps, like Jean-Joël.
To be flexible with the context evolution, we find other solutions. We found that some families, the better solution for them to rent a place. So that's their choice. We have to support.
After a difficult year under canvas, Jean managed to find a place to rent, but needed help to make the move. The Red Cross offered him a grant to help pay the rent for the year. After Darismond Robertson, a member of the Red Cross, had checked the building's safety, Jean-Joël was able to move in.
Mais la moment qui est un moment difficile, c'est ça qui était plus facile pour me faire, pour me sortir plus rapide dans le camp.
Mais d'après vous, c'est pas l'autre moyen que vous pensez qui peut permettre tout sortir dans le camp?
L'autre moyen qui était gagné, dans le moment, je n'ai l'autre moyen.
When we arrived, the rental solution was not something we imagined to be really relevant. But after assessment of the structure, we discovered that there was still a rental stock ready to be rented by the people in the IDPs. You stay alert to any opportunity that the context will allow you to help the Haitian.
For other people, another solution to leaving the camps has been to move out of the capital back to the provinces where they have relatives. Again, the Red Cross has been providing people with grants to support the move. With a second grant from the Red Cross, Cindique has been able to start a small business and realize her dream. With the profits she has made, she has been able to send her daughter Chamel to school for the first time. But the shelter needs after the earthquake in Port-au-Prince were not only in the camps. Many people remained in their neighborhoods, unwilling to leave their homes, even though they were seriously damaged. This required a flexible approach from the Red Cross, with support tailored to fit very specific situations. In some cases, shelters were built within the confines of crumbling homes, as in Delma 9.
Mais vous ne pouvez pas rentrer, alors mais qu'il faut faire abus pour moi, je vais écraser ça.
Ouais, parce que là, elle est classée en rouge, votre maison.
Jaune. Non, jaune.
Et t'as pas peur?
Oui.
Comment tu fais pour dormir la nuit alors?
J'ai fermé, j'ai ouvert.
J'ai ouvert, j'ai fermé.
Today, the damaged building has been repaired.
C'est un 5 millions, il fait réparation là-dedans, mais c'est un 5 millions. Depuis là,
Ici, là, vous gagnez un caille tout?
avec un locataire, parce qu'on n'aime pas travailler, c'est le caille qui va manger.
If this neighborhood collapsed after the earthquake, it was the fruit of years and years and decades of non-planning, aggregation of things, of different structures. We know that the people will come back to this neighborhood and are already back in this neighborhood. Our objective is to let the people more resilient than before, and we decided to go deeper in working in neighborhood.
Taking a more integrated approach can mean different things. It can be how to clean all the rubbish from an area that has been drawn in after heavy rains. It can also be repairing ravines or giving people information on how to look after their neighborhood. Here, in Delmas 19, The Red Cross have covered the large drainage site and turned it into a path. The rubble has been cleared to make a public area and then recycled to make gabion walls, bricks and paving stones.
They don't think about their life in sectors. You can't ask them, so what do you think about the shelter in the area? What do you think about this? You know, what do you think about your infrastructure? If you talk to them about their everyday life, the answers and the experiences they're going to give to you are going to take in aspects of all of those things. Everything is connected and you can't do things in isolation.
Mais, c'est-à-dire que ils ont commencé, mais dans mes films, parce que j'ai une invitation pour te faire un adoquin, pour te faire moi là, moi, je me connais. C'est pesable la fête, c'est mon seul que vous commencer. Il t'a plus, quand tu as plus d'évolution.
Solution will not come by us. We will support solution, but solution must come from the people. We have not, and we could not. If we decide that we will decide for Haitian, it will fail. Because one of the specificity of Haitian people is they always find their way.
Parce que le soir, là, le soir, je dis papa, je dois m'avoir qu'est posé. Je suis plus grand, je dis papa, quand il y a un peu de sécurité, je dois dormir à l'aise, parce que je ne peux pas faire.
Sea, deep blue Adriatic Sea, the clouds covering the hills in a madness that sometimes covers over me. I'm not broken, just a little energy spent, and it's a long way from here. I'm not broken, just a little energy spent, and it's a long way from here. With a towel on my hips and the salt upon my lips, I'm starving.